Okay, today I thought we'd take a look at the smoking robots that were produced in the 1980s. Kind of more of a reissue than a repro, since they were made with the original stamps and dies. Story goes that there were 500 built in these 7 different colors: the non-painted, the silver, the maroon, the green, the gold, the charcoal, and the blue. And originally the story goes that they were made for a themed restaurant type thing, which fell through. And so then about 350 of them made it to the USA, and the rest went to other parts of the world. And originally they were trying to be sold off as a warehouse find of original robots. And they are, sort of. I mean, if they were made in Japan and they were made with the original dies and stamps and stuff, but they weren't made back in the late 50s or 60s. They were made in the 1980s. A large majority of them got crushed in the earthquake in San Francisco, which is where they were. All this information I got was from the seller in San Francisco that was in charge of moving what was left of them. And the biggest tells on the things that they weren't original is if you open them up, you'll find that there were some plastic gears on the inside, and the smoking unit didn't have the vintage paper bellows like the original ones did, and so on and so forth. Now, as far as the box goes, it was a very nice box, but they screwed up on the word action. They didn't get the whole part of the N in, they only got the first part. So instead of saying action, it says actuai or something. And most of the dealers, when they were trying to pawn these off as originals, they would take their fingernail or something and scrape it right there. So it looked like there was box damage, and you couldn't tell that it was actually printed that way. So I made sure that I got the mint boxes with none of the scuff marks. I had a bunch of the ones with the scuff marks, but I sold those off. They actually run quite well. I just put batteries in this guy here, the unpainted one. And actually the unpainted one has been lacquered to try to slow the rust down. A little bit of surface rust is appearing through the years since the 1980s. And really, I think the only parts on it that were painted was this, the gauge part. That wasn't. The rest of it, I believe, if I remember right, was left as bare metal. And they sound and work very much like the originals. It has the slower spinning top like they're supposed to have. The newer repros, these top parts just spin like crazy. And it is smoking. We'll see if it puffs up a little bit better here the next time around. I'll try to get it next to a light or something where maybe it will show up better. But I'm going to walk off the shelf here if I'm not careful. Alright, let's get near a light. Let's see if we can, maybe if we shoot into the light, we'll see it. There you go. So they're very good smokers, very good walkers, very good runners. They're far more rare than the originals. There's less of these left on the planet than there are original smokers. Now, of course, I'm going to try to hit the switch here. Of course, then came by the 1990s, late 1990s, then Tin Tom Toys started producing, and from then on it went to other China builds, and they just went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Plenty of repro China smokers which you can pick up quite reasonably. I have never actually tried to compare pressings or anything like that, but these original 1980 ones, you can see, don't say anything on the back. The rivet placements, I guess we could try to compare. Let's just grab this guy. See, this body has all these rivets on the side. There was none there. Here's the back. I guess we'd have to get down where we actually count them, but the back part looks quite similar. Back of the head, rivet placements. So, just for those that weren't aware, didn't know that there had been other repros, or perhaps a better term would be reissue. Here are the 7 colors of the smoking robot, which were produced in the 1980s.